Today we are going to introduce our historical context project, which is there water on Mars? Like besides the Earth, Mars is the most likely habitable planet in our solar system, and scientists did a lot of research and explored on Mars for humans to find our second home. Although water is not a biosignature, it still provides an important evidence of the potential life existence. So that's why the reason scientists want to find if there really water on Mars or not. So today we are going to approach this project through this perspective. And before we introduce our project, we have two interviewees, and we just ask their opinions about like how the water on Mars.
Welcome. Now, let me ask you a question. Is there water on Mars?
Well, I'm not certain if there's water on Mars because I haven't done any previous research on this topic. But I assume there's probably ice, and if there's ice, then they can turn into water. So then, because I wrote I heard someone told me before that Mars can be suitable for human to live. It's like the closest planet that is suitable for human race. So I assume if it's suitable, then there's probably water on it, and somehow it can turn into something that human can drink and live on.
Yeah, excellent. Your answer is correct. There is water currently on Mars and it's located in the North Pole. And the second question is, was there ever water on Mars? Was there ever liquid water exist on Mars?
Before,
I mean, million years ago.
Well, I guess yes, because I mean there were water on Earth before, and then that's why all the like dinosaurs and then human beings after, and so I mean there's water, so there's living creatures and living forms, and so probably yes, but I'm not certain if there's any living things on Mars. So assume there were ice before, and they have been there before, and then there's nothing really changed, I guess.
So here is our second interviews.
Guys, today we have an interviewee from the mathematics major, and we're going to ask him about some astronomy questions based on Mars. So let's begin. Why don't you give a self-introduction first?
Oh, hey guys, I'm Pimple Wang from class of 2022, major in math. I'm senior right now, and I consider myself like interested in astronomy. I've watched some documentary films before.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Also, let's get into the question directly. So, like, have you considered about water on Mars before? Like, do you think is there currently water on Mars or not?
What I'm thinking is that I think there used to be some waters on Mars before, since we have detected some ice
Yes.
in the North Atlantic of the Mars. So I believe there may be some waters in the core of the Mars.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think it will be possible, like probably a million years, to transfer to water again. Because like we have detected some rivers, like or oceans, like moving, like water moving on the Mars surface, by the telescope.
Yeah, cool. Like, so we are broadening those documents. So, have you ever considered that, like, why the water on Mars is so important to us, like, from Earth's perspective?
Well, one thing is that we may be able to transfer Mars into Earth somehow, so we can have like more like resources, more place to eat,
Yes.
to live. Like maybe it will be real like people living in Mars in the future someday is like how exciting.
Yeah, it's like to
right?
make it more habitable. Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
So the next, do you think like the scientific consensus about the water on Mars is consistently so like at first beginning we thought there should be water on Mars, so it really changing like it's changing over time. So
That's a good question. I'm thinking that it's probably not the water in the first place.
yes,
I believe probably somehow if there's like water about it.
yeah, like
I don't know, like
yeah,
I don't know how to explain that.
Yeah, that's hard.
scientifically.
but like yeah, it's like with the development of the science, we can observe more evidence on Mars. Kind of cool. And last question. So, do you think like the water is the best signature for us to detect if like life on Mars or not? So, is water kind of essential for life on Mars or somehow?
I think there's still some distance between like there's water and
And like yes, definitely.
yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm thinking like even there's like water, there's probably no life on
Yeah, still not sufficient.
Yeah,
Cool.
I think it should be like under the gas requirement, like
Yeah.
oxygen, dioxide, something like that.
Definitely.
There will be then there will be life.
Yes.
Not
Okay.
just water.
Yeah. Thank you so much for.
So this is our second interviewers, and just
And the answer to this question is water exists on Mars, and there were plenty of water on Mars. And the current modern scientific consensus regarding this question is yes, there is, and it has a large water body billions of years ago. And we have evidence for that. So observe the picture on the right. You can see these stones on Mars is very similar to these round stones that we have in the riverbed. So it is evidence that water does exist in the past. And from the telescope, we can see the ancient riverbed in the Mars surface, and it is a signature of water. And also, recently, NASA has detected that liquid water flows on Mars. And this detection used the best technology that we have. The method it used is imaging spectrometer on MRO. Scientists found out some liquid water combined with hydrate minerals on the slope of the mountain. And the initial scientific consensus was basically stayed the same over the time because they convinced that Mars used to have water at some point in its history, because even back in 1950s, scientists were able to see canals, which means riverbeds, on the surface of Mars, but they are not sure the presence of water on Mars today.
so like about how has the scientific consensus changed over time? Actually, it just may now have changed over time. Like actually, like from the even like from 1,500 years ago, an Indian astronomer is called Varahamihela. Like he detected, like he make assume that there should be a water existence on Mars. Like here, Varahima Leah, like in his famous books, like he claimed that the presence of water on Mars, like the book had detailed description of the planet Mars. He has said in his book that the planet Mars has both water and iron present on its surfaces, which has now been revealed by NASA and ISRO. Also, Varahamihira, he was the first Indian astronomer to mention and explain how each planet in our solar system has been created by and centered on the sun. So right now, like with the technology developments, we can use our latest technology to prove the existence and find more evidence to support either water on Mars or not. The new technology improvements, like such as we can just right now send the Mars probes directly on the Mars to picturing the potential like canal or the ice caps, and also like we can use the remote sensing technology to detect the potential water Mars.
So, in the scientific field, there will be many misconceptions, and with the development of high technological instruments and emerging talent, many of the previous conclusions will be overturned. For example, one of the misconceptions before was the definition of Pluto. Like Pluto was considered as one of the 9 planets in the solar system. However, with time went by, the International Astronomical Union downgraded the status of Pluto to that of a dwarf planet because it didn't meet one of the 3 criteria, which is that it has not cleared the neighborhood around its orbit. So, how did astronomers find out Pluto is a dwarf planet? The change of misconception is due to the development of high-tech instruments. The finer detector allows us to observe the activities of stars or planets accurately and collect more precise data. Besides that, the emerging talents in the astronomy field can also account for the solution of misconceptions, as they can analyze the phenomenon in a wide perspective. Okay, and here is our bibliography, and thank you so much for listening to our project.
Thank you, guys.